Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Desert Dreams homestead update here. I am out on the property. This is our newly acquired 40-acre piece of land that me and my family purchased to build a multi-generational homestead that will hopefully last forever and be passed down and lived in by our family for many years. It's really nice today. It's really sunny. It's quite warm, in fact. So it is Thursday and we're just finishing up for the week. So I'll turn the camera. Here we go. Little update on the pump house here. So you can see I got some trim up around the door, making it look a little nicer. No paint yet. I have swapped out all of the flashing to the larger stuff. I didn't like the smaller stuff because of the way I built it. Let me see if I can back up here and get you a shot of the roof. There we go. So you can see I have finished the roof today. We started it yesterday. Didn't get a full weekend because Monday we showed up out here and it was snowing. So if you missed that video, please go back and check that out. You can see the doghouse here is also got the roofing on it, and I've started to do some of the caulking, which is becoming a good friend of mine since I'm not much of a carpenter. But to give you kind of an update, I wasn't going to roof it until I got the power on the property so I could run the air compressors and air nailers and not have to be doing all this by hand. But I decided to go ahead and just start roofing it yesterday because I didn't want to wait any longer, and I still hadn't gotten an install date for our power just yet. So I got started, and about an hour or two in, of course, I got the phone call from the power company, and we are now scheduled for next Thursday to get our 400 amp residential service pulled on here. So I'm excited about that. But another reason why I wasn't roofing it yet is because I hadn't figured out how to mount the solar panels to the roof. The systems out there for that are very expensive, and so I was trying to come up with a DIY option. I finally did come up with an idea that I really think would have worked, but I started thinking I have this whole wall right here, southern facing wall, and why make a solar mat? Why put the solar panels on top when I could just put them as like a ground mount leaning up against the wall right here? And this is all south facing. It's perfect. I've got plenty of land. So instead of fussing and fighting with trying to waterproof the roof mount, I'm just going to put it on the ground. And while I was at Home Depot, I ran into a YouTuber I've watched for a few years now. His name is Don over at Affordable Desert Living, and he has a ground mount solar array. And I picked his brain for about a half hour. He was so nice and generous with his time to talk with me and give me some pointers on how he did it. So I'm very grateful to that. I tell you, YouTube is a great outlet for getting information, especially about building homestead or any kind of homestead work or construction or just about anything on YouTube, really. But it's something else when you run into somebody who's been doing it and that you've been trying to learn from, and they take the time and really take a minute to teach you some things. So I'm very grateful to Don for that. If you don't know his channel, go check that out. It's kind of impressive what he does by himself. I'm fortunate that I have my dad here and we have some resources that makes a lot of this a little bit easier. But I'm going to go with, I think, a ground mount solar array on the southern wall that faces the southern sky and just forget about putting anything on the roof. I think it'll be easier, about the same price since I already have most of the materials, just not, again, those specific pieces for waterproofing the roof. But as far as the roof, I'm happy. I've done a little roofing before, but I'm happy with it. I'm no professional. Let me get it up here so all you roofing people can really judge me on the straight lines and stuff. So for a little amateur job, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm happy with it. And like I said, I started doing some caulking today on the corners and any joints that were big. So hopefully I can get to painting soon. There's nothing new here on the inside really to show you. Although I will show that since building this, we've had water that has stayed in here. And it has not frozen, even when it's gotten down to 12 and 15 degrees overnight outside. It's definitely staying above freezing in here, which is the whole reason why I'm insulating this, trying to make it so that our water pipes and things don't freeze, since this is our pump house. And you can see just right here, right outside the door, this is all ice. Let me see if I can move over to here. so you can see it a little better. That's just a tiny little skating rink there. So it is definitely freezing, and the ice doesn't even melt during the day. It stays very, very cold here, especially when things aren't in the sun. So it's good to know that it's working in the way that things are not freezing on the inside, which is the whole reason that we're building this and putting all the work of insulating it in. I'm gonna walk out down over to this side of the property. I did a little bit of work inside of the shipping container. I built a workbench, and I've got some more materials where I want to do some shelving and things. But also, quick update on the power. Like I said, I got that phone call. So next Thursday, I'm scheduled for them to come out and install that. I do have to still get the lugs that I need to attach. Well, I need it so they can attach their power to my box. I was fortunate to find a 400 amp residential meter box. Very grateful to a friend up in Seattle where we moved from. Kevin, if you're listening, man, I am very grateful to you and your friend for helping me with that electrical box. I don't know what I would have done without it. I'm glad to have it. And I'm getting some attention for it down here for sure, because a lot of people are trying to find those things and they're just not available. So over here you can see I also added an additional pole, concreted in, to give that, I think that's a 4x6. And I put a 2x4 next to it and concreted it a few feet into the ground, because the meter box is very, very heavy. It's like 100 pounds or something. And the last thing I wanted was for that pole to not hold it and us to have any form of a problem with the electrical during construction. That would not be good to have that meter box come loose. So next Thursday, as long as I can get those lugs, which I should be able to, we'll have power hooked up. And I'm gonna put a little sub panel in there so we can get some construction power. And then after that, yeah, hopefully we can get things going on the house. So our permits, I believe, are approved. They're asking us to pay the review fees. We've paid that, so we should be getting our permits here anytime. You can see the last little bit of snow that is left on my property only exists here in the shadows. This was from Monday when we were out here. It was snowing pretty good. But a quick update on the inside of the container here. So there's that beauty of a unicorn, if you will, of the meter box. It's nice to have that thing here. And then in here I have built this little workbench. It's really, really nice to have for storing more things. It's kind of cleaned things up a bit in here. I'm also going to be putting up a 2x4 here with a shelf on it. So I'll have a shelf. Can I back this out a little more? There we go. So I'll have a shelf up on the wall above my workbench here to use some of this space. And then I don't have it glued on yet, but this board here is another board that I'm going to be mounting right here on this side to hold all the shovels and rakes and those types of things that we have here. This here will be getting out of the way next Thursday when we hook that up to the box. So I've already got some unistrut cut and the fittings I need to connect some conduit to it and stuff. But we moved all of our stuff in. Man, it is packed in here. I tell you, it is really packed in here. But it's nice to have some movement and feel like we're getting some things done. But anyways, on this Thursday, it's the last day of work this week. Kind of a shorter week since Monday we had all that snow and stuff. But I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. Some changes were made. You know, the solar panels going to a ground mount. We've got the roofing done. We've got some caulking done. We've got the trim around the door now. I changed out all the flashing, added to the panel this week, or not the panel, the pole that's going to hold the panel this week, and built that workbench in the storage shed there. So a little bit of progress. Things are still moving a little bit slow. They will be for a few more months until the foundation gets poured. That's something I'm not doing. We're hiring that out. Once that gets poured, we're going to be going full speed on building the house. So first thing will be the ICF exterior walls, insulated concrete forms. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm very nervous about it. Obviously never done anything like this, but it's a DIY friendly material. It's very, very strong, energy efficient, and it's really going to make our house what we want it to be. Being up here in the high desert of Arizona, it gets really, really hot in the summers and really, really cold in the winters, we're finding. So this material is going to work out better. But check back in next week. I'll upload some more videos. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for following along. Subscribe, tell your friends. We're just getting started, so it's a long road. Take care, guys.